Okay, just to let you know, next week I'm going to be doing something quite fun, really. I'm going to be starting like some little chats off on my channel, which is about basically weird things that have happened to you in your life, strange things that you can't account for. You don't understand why it's happened to you. It could be anything that's really strange. For example, seeing a UFO or a glitch or something that you've noticed that you don't really have any comprehension of at all, and it's sort of you know messed with your mind a little bit, made you feel a little bit strange inside, and you've gone, what the hell's going on there? So we have a bit of fun with that. I like to get comments on my channel for things such as that because I think it's important for people to be able to express what kind of things that may have happened to them in their life that they just can't account for and seems to jolt them out of place. I've got loads of different stories that I'm going to be talking about to start with, and I'll get you off on one of them right now, and so that it gives you a little bit of an idea about one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me. I think that it's fun to talk about these things because it's something I've always had a big fascination with. And even before I got into conspiracy theories a long time ago after 9/11, I sort of started to think something with the world wasn't quite right. So I started to look into things a bit deeper. And I had a friend that sort of brought me in when YouTube was in its early stages. And it was very interesting, started to look into very detailed analyses of different things along the way. But my story is this. So one time I was in the YMCA, believe it or not, and I had a girlfriend in there, and we went to her friend's house for the weekend. And on the way there, a friend said in the taxi, she said, "Oh, my nan's granddad's died, and we're going to be like babysitting the house while she goes to the funeral." All well and good. She had like a parrot in the house, and this parrot was quite quirky. It was a little bit of a banshee. It was like screaming and squawking and repeating weird stuff like telephone calls that had been made and stuff like that. Really funny stuff, right? And it was just weird. Like we had to sleep in the bedroom, and the bloke who died was like sitting opposite, framed on the wall. So that was kind of eerie. But the next day, I'm messing around with the parrot in the lounge because obviously I love weird animals. They just intrigue me. So I'm having a good chat to the parrot, and I get these screams from outside. I'm like, what the hell's going on with these two girls outside screaming for me to come out and save them from something? So I've ran out and banged my leg on the side of the kitchen unit to try and get out to them quickly. So I'm not in a great mood, as you can imagine. And I swing back the sliding door and I get out to him. And the time of the day is it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So it's just starting to go dark. Now, a lot of these experiences that people have said a similar thing, that the time of the day was round about 5:30 to 7:30 when it was just going dark. And to my amazement, they were pointing up in the sky. Now, I've seen little anomalous things in the sky from time to time. Obviously, we all do see little things, but we don't think much of them. But this wasn't some little anomalous thing. This was a huge UFO, and just like you'd imagine in the films, not too big, not Independence Day big, but a metallic disc. I've even looked it up on. You can get these graphs that show you different shapes, like diamond-shaped UFO craft and things like that. So, seeing this thing, and it was insane. Like, it had a beaded white trim going around the center of it. It was like a discotheque. It was completely silent. It had lasers coming off it all over the place. The way I'd describe the lights that came off it were, it had like these flood white lights going up into the air and these blue lasers going up into the air. And then underneath the belly of it, it had green and purple lasers. And the purple lasers were stagnant, but the green lasers were like moving around, trying to find something. They were searching for something clearly. And it gets stranger because after it sodded off, we all looked at each other like, what the dealio, and we were like, what the hell is that? What the hell was that? It took about 2 or 3 days of adjustment to it afterwards as well to really acknowledge what we'd seen. So going around telling people in the YMCA, all about that, you know, and it was a bit weird to say the least. But it gets stranger. Me and my girlfriend at the time, naming no names, she knows who she is. You know, we were sat in the bedroom waiting to have our tea. Now they have set meals in the YMCA, so you know when you get hungry that you don't want to be missing the meal because you'll be last in the queue, and you know you don't want to be last in the queue, do you? Because you won't get any food, and all the good stuff's taken. So we just sat there waiting, and I put this film on to pass the time, and I checked my phone, and it said 3 o'clock, roughly. It was like, you know, 2:45 or 3 something, 3:05, something like that. And I quickly flashed to check it again, as you do. Sometimes when you're a bit bored, you'll just check it again. Even if a minute's passed by, you'll check it again. And the film had only been playing for a little tiny bit, so I paused it to check my phone again. And I mean literally, I don't mean like, oh, we got back into the film and monged out for a bit. I mean literally, just double checked my phone again, and it said 4 o'clock now. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on with that? So, you know, that then triggered something in both of us because I showed her my phone and she showed me his, and we both had the same time on the phones. And I said, but it was just 3 o'clock, like 2 seconds ago. And so we went downstairs to see, you know, if the old phones were lying to us. And they weren't lying to us. There was everybody was queuing up, and we're like, and the only thing I could think at the time was, that's got to be something to do with that UFO. It's got to be something to do with it. Now I watched this thing on YouTube called Beyond Creepy, and there's so many stories on there with the same exact parallels to this, where someone's had an interaction, they get people following them in black cars. They lose time, like an hour. It's always like an hour or 2 hours. Sometimes people are just found nowhere near their house after they've gone sleep in their bed, stuff like that. So I want, you know, that's my first and probably biggest story that I've got of strangeness in this world. And I'd really like to get people's insights into if they've had anything similar to that. You know, you don't have to comment on this video. You don't have to share it. You don't have to like it. It doesn't really bother me. That's not the idea behind it. The idea really is just to express it and to get comments for it, and maybe, you know, people to interact with me on a completely different level. My karaoke's a bit of fun, like I say in the background, and my freestyle raps, there'll be a few of them coming up probably next week. Just to let you all know, I haven't actually done any freestyle for, I don't know, like probably 6 years. I haven't really done any. I've just been singing really, because I wanted to try and integrate my rapping into singing a little bit better. The difficulty's been that a lot of the tunes I rap to are very quick. It doesn't really give me much time to incorporate, you know, the choruses in as well as I would like. But with your help, as I grow the channel, I'll be able to do more talks like this, get interesting people around to talk to me about their experiences, but also on top, better equipment. Equipment I'm using right now, I don't really like most of it. I can't tune my voice. I can't tune the beats very well. I need a professional to come in really and help me with that. So there's a lot to build on, but so far I'm very grateful for the people that I've seen that have watched my videos. You know, drop me a like if you want. If you do think that there's a video you think I'd like to see him do more of that kind of style of freestyle, or there's something you think you don't like, then don't be scared to put a dislike or something like that, because it gives me a bit of a bit of encouragement to sort of look into it deeper and try and do better. Now, I've had a lot going on over the last 12 months, and in the last 2 months alone, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the background, which has kind of pulled me away from focusing on this. And so, you know, I've been literally kicking a tune off and just doing it with no real comprehension of what I'm doing. But that's going to change pretty shortly, I should imagine. This next month should be a much better month for me, and I should be able to start to really come out of my shell better and with more professionalism. But again, you know, these sort of things when you're creating a new YouTube channel can be quite difficult and overwhelming, even to someone who's got confidence. It can be very jarring because you're obviously going to be going back and seeing what kind of views you're getting. you're going to be going back and sort of analysing yourself to death. And it can be kind of strange, having a mirror put up to yourself all the time. I like what I do, but it doesn't necessarily mean that other people do. So, it's going to get better because, like I say, I haven't really properly freestyled for a while. It's like I wanted to sort of just concentrate on the singing side of it. A lot of people said to me I couldn't sing, and it's probably true. But the thing is, I don't have enough money to be able to smoke the kind of fags I'd like to smoke, so it's kind of destroyed my singing abilities a little bit. But that should all die out with time. So I hope you appreciate this little segment I've made for this strange conversations I'd like to bring up. I think it's important that people do look at life from different perspectives, not just the initial perspectives you get given in your brain, but to try and actually see things from all different types of angles, which is what I've always done since I've been about 5 years old. Hence me becoming a freestyle MC. It's not like in the 80s when I got into all of this stuff. Rapping in the UK was even a thing. It wasn't. But I just really liked it. That's something I really enjoyed doing, and I wanted to become really good at it. And so I pushed myself for many, many years with a dictaphone to enjoy listening back to myself and hearing what I could improve upon and things such as that. So I'm just giving you a very deep insight at the moment to who I am and what I'm all about, really. It's not about courage either. It's just about doing it, You can sit there and procrastinate all you like in your life, but all you'll end up with is a lot of regrets and think, well, why didn't I just do that? Why didn't I just get on the phone and make a little video like this and tell people who I am, and this has been coming, but you got to be in the right place too. You can't just rush these kind of conversations when you're already struggling deeply with other things. So you got to be able to sort of break away from that first. And that's what I've been trying to do. I mean, there isn't always a right time. Hence the shabbiness of this video right now is really just about procrastination will beat you down with a big stick. So you got to, I have wonderful conversations with family and friends and people I've known from the past about all sorts of different things. But in turn, I want my subscribers to be the kind of people that feel quite free in conversation, don't overanalyze themselves, don't worry about being part of my society of people on YouTube. Because I think that, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that you'll just waste your time watching, that you just think, why am I watching this? This is boring. I shouldn't be watching this. So I don't want my channel to be boring. I want my channel to grow exponentially to a place where I've got the better equipment. I'm not bothered about making money. I never have been. That's why I don't have any money. I'm more bothered about connection. And I do give people chances to redeem themselves if they, they're not great the first time around with me. But there's only so many times you can forgive people in this world as well. So, self-correction comes via the self, not via others. But extend your thoughts. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you think about this. If you don't like this sort of conversation with me, or you think it's a waste of the time in the channel, let me know that too. And there's a lot of different types of people out there with a lot of different struggles going on in the background. People who don't think they're good enough. People who don't think that they can ever achieve anything. I want to be living proof that that's not the case, that anyone can follow the dreams, anyone can make something of themselves with a lot of dedication to it. So hopefully, I'll get some good responses from this particular video. And with this particular video, just tell me your most weird experiences, and I will do my best to read through the comments that come, and I will respond to them with a new video. And we'll pull up some of them and we'll have a little chat about them. And I'll give you my insights into what I think may be going on. I've got a very long range of different things that I've looked into, from ghost stories to, strange anomalies in the sky, to crop circles, to ancient Egypt, Sumeria, you know, onomatopoeia, all these different things, Easter Island. There's tons of stuff, a reservoir of different knowledge that I've got from different places, and I've never turned my eye away from stuff like David Icke, you know, and Jordan Maxwell, Michael Tessarian. There's all these different people out there that are really interesting. Even people like Donald Marshall, I found very intriguing. So let me know what your thoughts are and drop me a comment.